Blue Squills by Sarah Teasdale. Read for Librivox.org by Sheng-Ji Lee. September 11, 2007. How many million Aprils came before I ever knew how white a cherry bough could be, a bed of squills how blue. And many a dancing April, when life is done with me, will lift the blue flame of the flower and the white flame of the tree. Oh, burn me with your beauty then, oh, hurt me, tree and flower, lest in the end death try to take even this glistening hour. Oh, shaken flowers, oh, shimmering trees, oh, sunlit white and blue, wound me that I, through endless sleep, may bear the scar of you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Cloistered by Mary Carolyn Davies. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Tonight the little girl nun died. Her hands were laid across her breast. The last sun tried to kiss her quiet braid, and where the little river cried, her grave was made. The little girl nun's soul in awe went silently to where her brother Christ she saw under the living tree. He sighed, and his face seemed to draw her tears to see. He laid his hands on her hands mild, and gravely blessed. Blind they that kept you so, he smiled, with tears unguessed. Saw they not Mary held a child upon her breast? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Haunted Oak by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Read for Librivox.org by Joe Kono. Pray why are you so bare, O bough of the old oak tree? And why when I go through the shade you throw runs a shudder over me? My leaves were green as the best, I trow, and sap ran free in my veins, but I saw in the moonlit dim and weird a guiltless victim's pains. I bent me down to hear his sigh, I shook with his gurgling moan, and I trembled sore when they rode away and left him here alone. They charged him with the old crime and set him fast in jail. Oh, why does the dog howl all night long, and why does the night wind wail? He prayed his prayer and he swore his oath, and he raised his hand to the sky, and the beat of hoofs smote on his ear, and the steady tread drew nigh. Who is it rides by night, over the moonlit road? And what is the spur that keeps the pace? What is the galling goad? And now they beat at the prison door. Ho, keeper, do not stay! We are friends of him who we hold within, and we fain would take him away. From those who ride fast on our heels with mind to do him wrong, they have no care for his innocence, and the rope they bear is long. They have fooled the jailer with lying words, they have fooled the man with lies. The bolts unbar, the locks are drawn, and the great door open flies. Now they have taken him from the jail, and hard and fast they ride, and the leader laughs low down in his throat as they halt my trunk beside. Oh, the judge he wore a mask of black, and the doctor one of white, and the minister with his oldest son was curiously bedight. O foolish man, why weep you now? 'Tis but a little space, and the time will come when these shall dread the memory of your face. I feel the rope against my bark, and the weight of him in my grain. I feel in the throe of his final woe the touch of my own last pain. And never more shall leaves come forth on a bough that bears the ban. I am burned with dread, I am dried and dead from the curse of a guiltless man. And ever the judge rides by, and goes to hunt the deer, and ever another rides his soul in the guise of a mortal fear. And ever the man he rides me hard, and never a night stays he, for I feel his curse as a haunted bow on the trunk of a haunted tree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Irishman and the Lady by William McGinn. Read for Librivox.org by Dailybab. There was a lady lived at Leith, a lady very stylish, man. And yet, in spite of all her teeth, she fell in love with an Irishman. A nasty, ugly Irishman. A wild, tremendous Irishman. A tearing, swearing, thumping, bumping, ranting, roaring Irishman. His face was no ways beautiful, for with smallpox 'twas scarred across, and the shoulders of the ugly dog were almost double a yard across. Oh, the lump of an Irishman, the whiskey-devouring Irishman, the great he-rogue with his wonderful brogue, the fighting, rioting Irishman. One of his eyes was bottle green, and the other eye was out, my dear. And the calves of his wicked-looking legs were more than 2 feet about, my dear. Oh, the great big Irishman, the rattling, battling Irishman, the stamping, ramping, swaggering, staggering, leathering swash of an Irishman. He took so much of Lundy foot that he used to snort and snuffle and in the shape and size of the fellow's neck was as bad as the neck of a buffalo. Oh, the horrible Irishman, the thundering, blundering Irishman, the slashing, dashing, smashing, lashing, thrashing, hashing Irishman. His name was a terrible name indeed, being Timothy Thady Mulligan, and whenever he emptied his tumbler of punch, he'd not rest until he'd filled it full again. The boozing, bruising Irishman, the toxicated Irishman, the whiskey, frisky, rummy, gummy, brandy, no dandy Irishman. This was the lad that the lady loved, like all the girls of quality, and he broke the skulls of the men of Leith just by the way of jollity. Oh, the leathering Irishman, the barbarous, savage Irishman. The hearts of the maids and the gentlemen's heads were bothered, I'm sure, by this Irishman. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I Am Weary of Being Bitter by Arthur Davison Ficke. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. I am weary of being bitter and weary of being wise, and the armor and the mask of these fall from me after long. I would go where the islands sleep, or where the sea dawns rise, and lose my bitter wisdom in the wisdom of a song. There are magics in melodies, unknown of the sages. The powers of purest wonder on secret wings go by. Doubtless out of the silence of dumb preceding ages, song woke the chaos world, and light swept the sky. All that we know is idle. Idle is all we cherish. Idle the will that takes loads that proclaim it strong. For the knowledge, the strength, the burden, all shall perish. One thing only endures, one thing only. Song. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Mist by Henry David Thoreau. Read for Librivox.org by Paul Santagata. September 9th, 2007. Low-anchored cloud, Newfoundland air, fountain-head and source of rivers, dew-cloth, dream drapery, and napkin spread by fays, drifting meadow of the air, where bloom the daisied banks and violets, and in whose fenny labyrinth the bittern booms and heron wades. Spirit of lakes and seas and rivers, bear only perfumes and the scent of healing herbs to just men's fields. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Mutability by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Read for Librivox by Nunde. We are as clouds that veil the midnight moon. How restlessly they speed and gleam and quiver, streaking the darkness radiantly, yet soon night closes round, and they're lost forever. Or like forgotten lyres, whose dissonant strings give various response to each varying blast, to whose frail frame no second motion brings one mood or modulation like the last. We rest. A dream has power to poison sleep. We rise. One wandering thought pollutes the day. We feel, conceive, or reason, laugh or weep, embrace fond woe, or cast our cares away. It is the same, for it be joy or sorrow, the path of its departure still is free. Man's yesterday may never be like his morrow, naught may endure but mutability. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Night and Morning Songs. Dawn by Gordon Bottomley. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. A thrush is tapping a stone with a snail shell in its beak. A small bird hangs from a cherry until the stern shall break. No waking song has begun, and yet birds chatter and hurry and throng in the elm's gloom, because an owl goes home. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Old Jew by Maxwell Bodenheim. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. No fawn-tinged hospital pajamas could cheat him of his austerity, which tamed even the doctors with its pure fire. They examined him, made him bow to them. Massive altars were they, at whose swollen feet grovelled a worshipper. Then they laughed, half in scorn of him, and there came a miracle. The little man was above them at a bound. His austerity, like an irresistible sledge-hammer, drove them lower and lower. They dwindled while he soared. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Old Woman by Joseph Campbell. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. As a white candle in a holy place, so is the beauty of an aged face. As the spent radiance of the winter's sun, so is a woman with her travail done. Her brood gone from her, and her thoughts as still as the waters under a ruined mill. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Priapus by H.D. Keeper of Orchards. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. I saw the first pear as it fell, a honey-seeking, golden banded. The yellow swarm was not more fleet than I. Spare us from loveliness. And I fell prostrate, crying, Thou hast flayed us with thy blossoms. Spare us the beauty of fruit-trees. The honey-seeking paused not. The air thundered their song, and I alone was prostrate. O rough-hewn god of the orchard, I bring thee an offering. Do thou, alone unbeautiful, son of the god, spare us from loveliness. The fallen hazelnuts, stripped late of their green sheaths, the grapes, red-purple, their berries dripping with wine, pomegranates already broken, and shrunken figs and quinces untouched, I bring thee an offering. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Arizona Poems. Rain in the Desert by John Gould Fletcher. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. The huge red-buttressed mesa over yonder is merely a far-off temple where the sleepy sun is burning its altar fires of pinyon and tonon for the day. The old priests sleep, white-shrouded. Their pottery whistles lie beside them, the prayer-sticks closely feathered. On every mummied face there glows a smile. The sun is rolling slowly beneath the sluggish folds of the sky-serpents, coiling, uncoiling, blue-black, sparked with fires. The old dead priests feel in the thin dried earth that is heaped upon them. Above the smell of scorching, oozing pinyon, the acrid smell of rain. And now the showers surround the mesa like a troupe of silver dancers, shaking their rattles, stamping, chanting, roaring, whirling, extinguishing the last red wisp of light. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Read for Librivox.org by Teresa Montgomery. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Serenade by Oscar Wilde. Read for Librivox.org by Zoe Early. The western wind is blowing fair across the dark Aegean sea, and at the secret marble stair my Tyrian galley waits for thee. Come down, the purple sail is spread, the watchman sleeps within the town. O leave thy lily-flowered bed, O lady mine, come down, come down. She will not come, I know her well. Of lovers' vows she hath no care, and little good a man can tell of one so cruel and so fair. True love is but a woman's toy, they never know the lover's pain. And I who loved as loves a boy, must love in vain, must love in vain. O noble pilot, tell me true, is that the sheen of golden hair? Or is it but the tangled dew that binds the passion flowers there? Good sailor, come and tell me now, is that my lady's lily hand? Or is it but the gleaming prow? Or is it but the silver sand? No, no, 'tis not the tangled dew, 'tis not the silver-fretted sand. It is my own dear lady true, with golden hair and lily hand. O noble pilot, steer for Troy, good sailor, ply the labouring oar. This is the queen of life and joy, whom we must bear from Grecian shore. The waning sky grows faint and blue, it wants an hour still of day. Aboard, aboard, my gallant crew, O lady mine, away, away. O noble pilot, steer for Troy, good sailor, ply the labouring oar. O loved as only loves a boy, O loved forever, evermore. End of poem. This poem is in the public domain.
Silence by D.H. Lawrence. Read for Librivox.org by Clarica. Since I lost you, I am silence haunted. Sounds wave their little wings a moment, then in weariness settle on the flood that soundless swings. Whether the people in the street like pattering ripples go by, or whether the theatre sighs and sighs with a loud, hoarse sigh, or the wind shakes a ravel of light over the dead black river, or last night's echoing makes the daybreak shiver, I feel the silence waiting to take them all up again, in its vast completeness, enfolding the sound of men. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song of the Souls Set Free by Walter Conrad Arensberg. Read for Librivox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Wrap the earth in cloudy weather for a shroud. We have slipped the earthly tether. We're above the cloud. Peep and draw the cloud together. Peep upon the bowed. What can they be bowing under, wild and wan? Peep and draw the cloud asunder. Peep and wave a dawn. It will make them rise and wonder whether we are gone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet 30 by William Shakespeare. Recorded for Librivox.org by Shang-Ji Lee. September 11, 2007. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh at the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death-dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er the sad account of fore bemoan moan, which I new pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
There Will Come Soft Rains by Sarah Teasdale. Recorded for Librivox.org by Shirtagal. There will come soft rains in the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on low fence wire. And not one will know of the war, not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And Spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Under the Harvest Moon by Carl Sandburg. Read for Librivox.org by Clarica. Under the harvest moon, when the soft silver drips shimmering over the garden nights, Death, the grey mocker, comes and whispers to you, as a beautiful friend who remembers. Under the summer roses, when the fragrant crimson lurks in the dusk of the wild red leaves, Love, with little hands, comes and touches you with 1,000 memories, and asks you beautiful, unanswerable questions. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Wife Woman by Anne Spencer. Read for Librivox.org by Clarica. Maker of sevens in the scheme of things, from earth to star, thy cycle holds whatever is fate, and over the border, the bar. Though rank and fierce, the mariner, sailing the 7 seas, he prays as he holds his glass to his eyes, coaxing the Pleiades. I cannot love them, and I feel your glad chiding from the grave, that my all was only worth at all what joy to you it gave. These 7 links the law compelled for the human chain. I cannot love them. And you, oh, 7-fold months in Flanders slain. A jungle there, a cave here, bred 6 in a million years, sure and strong, mate for mate, such love as culture fears. I gave you clear the oil and wine, you saved me your hob and hearth. See how even life may be ere the sickle comes and leaves a swath. But I can wait the 7 of moons, or years I spare, hoarding the heart's plenty, nor spend a drop, nor share, so long but outlives a smile and a silken gown. Then gaily I reach up from my shroud, and you, glory clad, reach down. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.